Well, good morning, you guys.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Real Talk with SLR. Although it might be the afternoon. I don't know what time it is.
Whenever this thing gets posted.
Yeah, whenever it shows up for you guys. But anyway, welcome back to Real Talk with SLR. How are you guys doing today?
It's a really nice and sunny day today.
It is. It's so sunny. When we were walking around, I was like, I can't see. I need the shades.
Mm-hmm.
But here in the shade, it's not so bad.
I'm still wearing my sunglasses. I'm still blinded by the sun, you know.
Blinded by the light.
All the white crystals everywhere on the ground are reflecting, and
yeah,
I'm being blinded.
Yeah.
So, but it's a really beautiful day. Everything is melting.
I don't know if you guys can hear all that dripping getting picked up by the camera or not, or the microphones or not. It might be getting picked up for you guys. The microphones might be so great that it blocks it out. I don't know, but let me tell you what. All that snow that was up on top of the basement and the roof and building and all that, I'd say it's about 50% melted.
Somewhere around there.
Ish.
Somewhere around there.
And there's a strong, steady stream of water just coming off of our house right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. I'm not gonna lie. But it's melting away, and it's melting away pretty quick.
Yeah.
After we got a foot, I think now we've already got almost like 4 inches in areas, 6 inches in others, you know, so.
Well, we took a walk down into the back of the woods, and there were a few spots that were still over a foot. There were some spots that were still like 2 feet, but that's because I think it was like a dip in the land, and so it was a foot, and then also like the snowdrift falling from the trees added onto it, you know, and then it's like a shady spot, so it's not getting the sun, so it's not melting very well, so I don't know.
No.
I think like by tomorrow, the majority of this is going to be melted by like tomorrow afternoon. And definitely by Monday, it should be okay.
I feel like Monday is going to be really good. But then it's going to come down to the ice.
Yes.
That's going to be what we're going to be challenged with, I feel like, for the next little bit, just because of everything's melting.
Yeah.
Everything's water, and then we're going to be getting down below, you know, the 20s and everything. I think this week it's going to be like average of like 20 degrees for the low. There's some days where it's like 16, 18 or whatever, but there's others that are like 25. So
either way, all below freezing.
All below freezing. So I feel like that's definitely going to play an effect into it. However, the highs are definitely going up. I mean, I think for next week, by next weekend or whatever, it's supposed to be in like the 50s.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
So by next week, it should all be cleared out, which will be the first year that we've lived out here, because mine and Anthony's birthdays are next week. It'll be the first time since we moved out here that we don't have snow on our birthdays.
Yeah.
We just got a birthday present a little early this year, which I'm totally cool with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least we still got it, so.
Exactly.
I'm happy about it. But man, I've been wanting to go to the store like since yesterday. I started cleaning up the house just a little bit since it was my first day, you know, out of the matrix and back to life. And I spent a huge portion of the day, I'd say almost all day outside, just walking around the woods, playing with the kids, just breathing in the fresh air and just being like, I'm alive. I'm alive. So I spent a good portion of my day doing that. But however, when I went back into the house, I started going through all of our commodities and things that we had so that way I can make dinner and everything. And I'm finding we're low on supplies. So I was like, man, should I go today? And Gary was like, nah, Mel, just wait it out.
It's better to wait right now. If you guys are in this area or anything else like that, a lot of times, at least for the people in the South, and then in the North, a lot of you guys are already prepared and already do it daily, you know, and have to live through it for 6 months at a time. So there's, you know, you guys know what's up. But for the people that don't get it all the time, it always ends up being one of those things where it's like, oh, let's go play or let's go drive around, let's go do this and this, but they don't have any snow tires. They don't have anything other than 2-wheel drive.
See, but we do.
Or anything else like that, you know, but that's where it becomes a little bit interesting. And I just want everybody out there to know to be safe. You know, don't go outside if you don't really need to, in the sense of driving. Like, try to hold off as much as you can.
Yeah.
because there's no point. And even though we even have ways to get in and out just in case for emergency wise, doesn't necessarily mean that we need to go until it's like, okay, we need to go.
Like we have snow tires, we have snow chains, we have, you know, everything that we need in order to get to town.
No.
However, it's not necessarily us driving that Gary's really afraid of or anything. It's the other people.
And if you know what I mean. All right, you guys.
Yeah. And you know what? There are going to be spots of the road. Like, I'm pretty sure the majority of the paved roads are all clear. And I'm not worried about getting my car down the dirt roads to the paved roads. It's when we get to the paved roads, there are going to be spots that have ice on it.
Black ice more so is the worry. Yep. I mean, even ice is a worry, you know.
But it's the black ice.
It's the black ice.
And there's going to be a lot of drivers on the road that, you know, may or may not know what to do.
Yep.
So,
and even if you know what to do, if you hit black ice, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
If you know what to do, it's
you're just like, Jesus,
hold on, exactly. It's one of those. That's why you're not supposed to be trying to accelerate quickly. You want to make slow movements.
Yeah.
Slow corrections, slow this and that, you know. But a lot of people tend to have to still work in this and everything else. And those that have to go to work and those that have to go travel around, just be careful. Yes, please be careful.
Double check your surroundings.
Leave a little sooner. Make sure that you can get there safely.
Ample time, no rushing.
Yeah. You know. It's it's the same thing when back home in Vegas area. When it rains.
Oh man, it would just be a pile up every single time on the 15.
Every single
It would be like 30 cars. No joke.
It's mainly because people they're rushing. They're rushing and they're not really thinking about it, and it's why in wet conditions and everything else you're supposed to drive slower than what the speed limit says. There's laws in place for that for a reason, and it's mainly because of certain things like that.
I was just mostly I'm not gonna lie, I was just mostly wanting to get to the store so that way I can get me some more coffee creamer, because I'm still dragging butt trying to get back on a new good schedule for sleep, because it's just been, I think we talked about it yesterday, but we've been in this horrible cycle where we're staying up till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, but then we're not waking up until like 10-11 o'clock in the morning. And it's just a horrible cycle, man. It's horrible.
No.
And we're trying to break out of that. And it all started around New Year's. And then right at New Year's, we had the ball drop. We went over to David's. Great time, wonderful time. But literally the following day, Patrick came out, and Patrick stayed out here with us for a week. And him and his friend came out. His friend was from Canada. And anyway, him and his friend, man, they were staying up till 5-6 in the morning, sleeping all day. And in order for us to visit with him, that's kind of the schedule that we adopted as well.
Yeah.
And that mostly comes down to Patrick's work schedule. Like his normal day-to-day work schedule, he works like the swing shift. And so he doesn't usually get off until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then he goes home and then
Yeah.
So or maybe he gets off even later than that. I think he actually gets off even later than that. I think he gets off at like 8.
No.
So anyway, we kind of adopted his schedule while he was out here so we could spend time with him. And, in between spending time with him, I had my face in the computer doing the edit, and I just was spinning my wheels big time. I'm burning the candle on both ends, and I'm paying for it now, and I'm trying to get back to reality. It's just going to take me a few more days.
No.
But God is so good and granted us all of this white fluffy stuff, a forced relaxation.
Exactly.
A force you can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Because me being me, we would have already been up there laying the ice and water shield. We would have been putting up the zip board. We've been making progress in some way, shape, or form, but
we can't put down the ice and water shield even if we wanted to right now.
Yeah.
Everything's still covered in snow.
Yes.
The roof is completely covered in snow. If there was metal up there, it'd be sliding off.
Yeah.
Which
would be these big sheets.
There'd be some big sheets, which I've already started thinking about certain aspects for
how we're going to combat these things.
Fun stuff, yeah. There is a safety thing that you can put into place and install and make it to where it will stop it from sliding off like that and make it to where it'll just melt. And then
just dribble off. And then when we eventually get nice gutters on here.
Correct. It will dribble into the gutters and out and off. and be no problem.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of little things like that, right? But because we have nothing up there other than the zip and water, or the
zip board.
the zip board and the ice and water shield, it's sort of sticking to it like asphalt shingles, basically, and it's just sitting there melting away.
Now, I will say I'm really happy that we're only going to have the zip board get this one good snow and this one good freeze on it before we're going to cover all the back patio and the front mudroom with the ice and water shield. The ice and water shield that we bought, we didn't buy enough to completely cover the entire building and overlap what we already laid, right?
No.
Just the pieces.
We're going to have a little extra, which is going to be perfect because I have that little sliver up on the top that everybody knows what I'm talking about. That white spot.
Yeah, the white spot.
That's the cheaper ice and water shield.
The spot where we ran out of the good stuff and we had to put what we used on the playhouse up there.
Correct.
Yeah. That's what that was.
That's what that was. And that stuff is like deteriorated in so many different ways. But it was for me personally, as somebody that likes the building science and everything else wise to it, right? Like, it is a really good, like, show and tell type thing. Experimental aspect. Like, here's zip board that's straight. Just zip board. Here's this kind of ice and water shield. Here's this kind, like, is it worth the money? Is it not worth the money? Like,
I will say this.
And that kind of stuff. And it's like, dang.
If you're wondering,
I'm liking it.
And I have no problem with us being like the test dummies with this whole thing, because this build is we're 2 people and we can only go as fast as we can go. Physically, financially, mentally, all of it. Seasonally, with the weather and just life and everything. However, the point I'm getting to is I'm happy to be the test bunny for you guys, because technically the ice and water shield is only supposed to be exposed for like
90 days.
90 days, 3 months.
120 days, I think
it's 120 days. I would say 4 months.
I want to say the one that we got. And then the white one, it was only rated for like 60 or 90 days.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's what I was going to say. So there's the higher quality, the more expensive, high dollar one, which, let me tell you what, it was a pretty penny. It is not cheap in order to do some of these steps. And Gary and I have to pinch and save pennies. And, we have to take up extra side jobs with promos and things, which we're happy to do. Love it. We're so blessed. Like, we are so blessed.
We just got to plan things accordingly.
Exactly.
And everything else. And it's not,
So the Grace Ice and Water Shield to do our roof that we've already done, just to cover up the roof of the base of the cabin. Before we did any of these extensions, we had to get, I don't know how many boxes it was, but the dollar amount total was like a little over $3,000 just to cover up the cabin, right?
Nope.
So with that in mind, all right, with all of this in mind, knowing that we're paying cash to build everything as we go, and we're only able to do what we can do as we can do it, I'm happy to be the test bunny for you guys to show that although that product is not supposed to be exposed as long as we've been exposing it for, but due to necessity, we've just been rolling with it. I'm happy to let you guys know that, man, their product is lasting. There's not a single drop of water or mold or any kind of leakage going on inside the cabin roof. It's perfectly dry, and it's been exposed, as you guys know, for a year now.
Yep.
And I mean, that just goes to show. I don't necessarily suggest people do what we did, but at the same time, if you are in a pickle and you're in a spot like what we're in, it is a wonderful alternative for the time being until you're able to get better. And that's what we were looking at it. However, that little sliver that we got, what brand was that? Do you know?
The little sliver.
The white stuff that we used?
I'm not 100% sure. It was, all of the ice and water shield were the high temp kind itself. I think a box of the ice and water shield from Grace or whatever, the high temperature one. That one, I think it was like $232, if I'm not mistaken, per box.
Something like that.
So, and then the other box that we got was like, I think I think we ended up only paying like $75 or like $125 for that one.
So like literally
almost
2/3 the cost of it. So it's definitely a lot more affordable. And that's why we decided to go with that route for the kids' playhouse.
Correct.
Because of what it is.
And not only that, we immediately put the roof right on it right after we installed it.
Exactly. There was none of this lingering time. That's why we weren't worried about it. But since we knew that there was going to be this lingering time between us finishing all of the exterior building parts from the cabin, you know, and all the stuff that we had to do, that's why we were like, you know what, let's just spend the money and let's just pray. Spend the money and let's pray. And, you know, a lot of these things that we decide to do and the whens and the whys and the stuff, it ultimately comes down to the fact that we are living in our construction zone.
Yes.
We're living in the basement down below. If we weren't living in the basement, a lot
of things would have changed.
Yeah, because
you know, there's a lot of other things that would have been done first. You know, we would have probably worked a lot more on the top side before the basement. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the finishing on the inside of the basement and all the drywall and all the stuff that we did to make the basement livable.
Correct.
But the thing is that we do have kids. And we were already living in that camper for over 1.5 years at that point when we were like, all right, let's just finish out the basement. And we were getting a little cabin fevery. We all needed some more space. And I was starting to go through health battles and stuff like that. And we needed that morale for us to have the oomph and the will to keep going on this mega project.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that we did. But because we did, it has definitely made us do several unconventional things when it comes to our build and how we go about doing it and why we put some higher priority on certain things and not others.
Yep.
But we're living here, and so we can see the full, well-rounded picture of everything. And so
what we need to do get to
the end goal.
Yeah. You know?
But everything that we're doing is leading us there. Like every single one of these decisions is like all leading us to that path. So it's all good.
I'm excited for this new year.
I'm too. I'm like giddy, guys.
It's there. It's really, really there, you know, and I'm trying to keep a good schedule as well. It is the weekend, you know, I want to be able to enjoy the weekends and work Monday through Friday.
Yep.
And enjoy the weekends and work Monday through Friday. You know,
although it's not going to be able to happen.
No,
100%.
Not 100%.
Sometimes we're going to have storms during the week. Sometimes we're going to have days where we have to spend the whole day in town because of kids' appointments and et cetera, X, Y, and Z. And so we're going to have to make up those days on the weekend days. Yep. It just all depends. But we're going to try to keep ourselves on a good schedule. And the one thing that I committed to myself this year for like our New Year's resolution is that I have fully committed into taking some more time for me a little bit. Yep. Taking some more personal, like Gary has his personal time out in the woods, going and doing his hunting and stuff like that. And I don't really have anything just other than editing and like doing YouTube and stuff, which I love you guys, but I need something else. And so I fully committed to myself this year to spend some more time outside, to doing some more craft stuff that I just feel like I really want to do. Spending more time with my physical and mental health and kind of getting some of that stuff really sorted out because, you know, it takes a toll on you. When you have physical problems, you end up kind of having certain mental problems. And if you have mental problems, sometimes you'll end up it's a vicious cycle. So it can be a vicious cycle. So I'm like determined to focus a lot of energy on some of that this year. But that'll be like in our personal time. I'm excited for the growth that's going to happen for both of us this year. And I am so excited for all of the changes that we're going to make to our cabin because this year, I truly feel it in my bones, is going to be the year that we're actually upstairs. However, I don't want you guys to hold our feet to the fire on it. This time next year, 2026 in January, we might be sitting out here and be talking about how we're just about to do some siding. No. I don't think we're going to do the siding on the house for a while. I feel like we're going to be living inside it. It's going to be fully functional, and then we'll come out and do the siding on the zip board. That's just what I feel. I could be wrong. I don't know. We're playing it by ear. But if that happens, don't bust our balls, guys. It's just how it's gonna happen and how it's gonna work out, which is gonna make our lives better while we're living here and doing it. You know, as long as the zip board is holding up and staying strong, and you know, if we notice that it's having any weak spots or weaknesses, or you know that, hey,
Yep.
then we'll focus our attention and get it on a little faster. But I don't know.
Besides, the sheathing walls and everything like that are holding up really, really well.
Because they never really get wet.
Roof, same thing. I mean, we covered it in a perfect timing wise when we put up the sheathing and all that other stuff. So
Yeah.
everything's holding up really, really well.
I mean, I'm so excited for the next steps, man. Oh, and speaking of steps, that's another thing that I am extremely excited for, guys. We're going to get some stairs here soon.
Yes.
No more ladders. And when we do the stairs for the mudroom and we get rid of the ladder over there, we're also going to do stairs for the kids' playhouse. Now, them having a big ladder over there, it works out great for them, no problems. However, because of the power situation that they have in the playhouse where they're using the jackeries,
we definitely want to be able to get up and down a lot easier.
Yes, because those machines are not cheap.
No.
And they haven't dropped it, they haven't broke it, nothing bad has happened, but it's a matter of time, I feel.
I've been the one grabbing the new ones recently and bringing them up and down. So.
And it would just be easier for our old butts to get up there and up and down and everything if we actually had some stairs. And so I think that that's going to be it. When we do stairs for the front, we're going to do some stairs for the playhouse too and make it easier for the kids to get in and out of there, as well as us when we need to go and check on the kids or help them out with things and stuff. Because, yeah. But I don't know, guys, so much to be excited for and so much to be happy for and look forward to. Yeah. I'm just really loving this new season. I'm loving this pause that we're having in life right now. I hope that you guys are nice and cozy. I hope that everything is going really well in your life. I truly do. I want to thank you guys so much for always spending your time with us and loving on us. I got another favor to ask for you guys. It's the same favor I've been asking. If you guys could please take our year in review video from 2024 and share it on all of your socials, I really would appreciate it. Anytime that you guys share anything, comment on things, thumb things up, it tremendously helps any content creator that you're watching. It's something that you can do for free, and it really does show a tremendous amount of support to the content creators. Because what happens is the almighty algorithm in the background, the more a video is interacted with, whether it be commented on, liked, and shared, the more the algorithm is going to tell, like the YouTube thing is going to say, hey, this is a video that people are really enjoying, and they're going to push it out to more people. Yep. So if you guys could do me that solid, I would really appreciate it. I hate to be a bug about it, but I worked really, really hard on it. And I feel like a lot of people haven't seen it yet. And I'm like, it's my best work, please. I worked so hard. But it is what it is. But if you guys could do that for me, I'd really appreciate it, guys. We are going to be getting back to some regular vlog content here on Simple Life, and then we're going to continue doing real talks. We've already recorded a little bit today, so you guys should have a video on Simple Life Reclaimed tomorrow for your viewing pleasure. Yep. And we're going to try to be back here tomorrow on Real Talk as well and see how much snow has melted or what's going on over here and what the plans are, etc., etc. But yep. I want to thank you guys again for spending all of your time with us and loving on us and being a part of our journey. We truly, truly appreciate you guys. And you guys know the drill. Until the next one, we love y'all and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.